Hi, I'm Willie, and welcome to my channel. Happy Saturday afternoon. I had a little bit of time, and I thought I would go live. We're about 10 seconds in. I don't see anybody joining yet, but that's okay. And today I don't have any real particular topics that I want to touch on. So I will just take open questions, and maybe it'll spark some questions, some debate. Hi, Sam. Glad you're here. Glad everybody's filtering in. If you're just, hey, Charlie. Hey, Andre. So if you're just joining us, hi, Arthur. If you're just tuning in, hey, Zach. All right, so if you're just tuning in, hey, Francis, I don't have a particular agenda. Hey, Jordan, for today. I will kind of shoot from the hip here. As you can see, I'm wearing my, this is a Beta Angry Cloud shirt. Hey, Ross. It's got the H5 logo on the sleeve. So we have some of these. We have them with a small cloud, and it says, is your cloud leaking data? And it's Angry Cloud. But then we have some where the cloud is big on the chest. Hey, Mitch. So we're going to be trying to figure out how to give that swag away. So looking at some hats and things like that as well. So before we get too far into things, does anybody have any questions? I want to thank everybody again for being here. Like I said, there's no particular topic that we're looking at right now. This is kind of an open Q&A. Nobody? Waiting? I'll just start grabbing stuff here in a minute, and we'll just start talking. So I don't know if any of you follow me on Twitter or Instagram, but I posted a picture of this. This is the tap lock, and as soon as I posted the picture of the tap lock, somebody posted that Rob says, how many phones can you stack on top of each other? Depends, Rob, but I bet that we could probably stack a lot of phones. I don't know if you're making reference to the stack behind me or not. But anyway, the tap lock, as soon as I posted this picture and said I was getting ready to test the tap lock, somebody posted a link to another YouTuber who was able to put something on the back of this and pry the back of it off and basically defeat the lock. And so they did some other testing, and they were not able to reproduce that problem. So it must have been something with that particular lock, they said. So as you can see here, this thing's not completely weatherproof. So you've got these little plastic rubber things that cover up the shackle, where the shackle goes into the lock. That way, if you get a lot of rain, it doesn't get down in there. So we're going to replace the no key for a little while with this guy and see how happy we are with it. We've got everybody's fingerprints. This is the fingerprint reader here. We've got everybody's fingerprints registered to the device. So we'll see how we like it. I can tell you that just from being able to push the button, put my fingerprint on here, and then have it open, and then also being able to just share access with people, I do like this, that we can just load everybody's fingerprints. We don't have to have the phone and just go. So, and as you can see, I'm putting my finger on there different ways, and it's working. So we'll see how this works once we get it out in the yard, out on a fence. All right, looks like we've got some questions coming in here. Do you often deploy 10 gigabit networks? So we didn't used to deploy a lot of 10 gig, but it's becoming more and more common now. Not to the desktop, but in the core for the size businesses that I work with. It is really becoming popular in the core. Some people are actually going 40 gigabit, but 10 gigabit, 40 gigabit, those higher bandwidths have been deployed for years in carrier environments, in hospitals, any place where you're transferring a lot of data and you need to do it quickly. But as far as, like I said, the small, the medium size environments that I typically deal with, 10 gig is becoming popular because it's just now really becoming affordable in that market space. The USG Pro, this is from Danny. The USG Pro, what is the maximum download speed by internet connection? I want a 550. Will the USG Pro handle this speed? Danny, absolutely, the USG Pro will handle that speed. It should handle full gigabit. So Francis says, Willie, for the Synology NAS, why did you get the DS218 Plus versus the DS718 Plus? You think the 718 is maybe overkill for home use? No. The one that I actually have for H5 technology, where I store all my personal business stuff, is actually a 918 Plus. And the reason I'm doing videos using the DS218 Plus is because Synology actually sent me a pair to do videos on. And the deal is that I get to keep those units as long as I keep doing videos. And then as the videos get more complex and I've got more room and stuff like that, then we're going to start scaling up to other units. So I plan on doing Synology videos for a long time, just like I do Unify videos and GrandStream videos. Gary Johnson asks, settings to prevent contain Mac flooding with Unify. Off the top of my head, there is no port secure. I mean, you could do some things like if ports aren't in use, disable them. But if somebody plugs into a port, you know, there's not really any port security with Unify. You need a different switch for that. So the answer is not really good, Gary, for Unify. Somebody asked me, do you know a good way to back up Exchange servers to Synology NAS? Marco, can you expand that question a little bit and let me know exactly what you mean by that? Hey, Sean. It's 3 o'clock here, 4 o'clock where Sean is. Dave, thanks for the encouragement. I do my best. I try to represent the products in an unbiased way. You know, and I may not like other products. Now, Cisco, you will hear me take little shots at them. That's because I'm a former Cisco fanboy, and I kind of fell out of love with the Cisco product. They definitely still have their fit. And I will tell you, I actually just worked on one for a customer and kind of embarrassed that they changed some of the ways that the port forwarding and NAT rules work in one of the later versions of the ASA operating system. And so I had some things working and some things not working, but I don't use the Cisco ASAs every day. Thanks, Delano. Yeah, Sean is looking forward to more Synology videos. I'm actually getting ready to do another Synology video. That will be the next one. Satvision asked, what happened to the Zycel, the garbage bin, or Zycel? Actually, the day after I released the failure to launch video, their marketing team got a hold of me, and they were upset that I didn't get a hold of support and get that all fixed before I put the video out. That would have been really disingenuous of me, because this could have happened to any of you where gear was shipped to you. Maybe it had been refurbished, it had been out somewhere else, but apparently someone else had the gear before I had it, and it came and it was sealed, right? And my gear wouldn't activate. So if that happened to one of you, I'm showing you, like, this gear shows up, great, we're going to hook it up. So we came to a mutual agreement that I would take the video down. I still do have the video, but I took the video down and they paid for the shipping back, and we are no longer doing Zycel videos. Jason, what's the safe temperature the USG Pro should be running at? Do you mean the ambient temperature in the room, or what should the unit itself be running at? Can you create custom email alerts in Unify? I'm sure if you tinkered around under the hood that you could create custom notifications. I haven't messed with trying to customize the notifications besides going in and turning them on and off, the types of notifications that we get, so I can't answer that. Have you had your hands on the Nano HD yet? Yes, I have had my hands. I actually have a Nano HD around here somewhere. I got it from the beta store. I don't see it right here, but I do have one. Thanks again, Danny. Let's see. Can you run the Unify controller on a Synology NAS? Yes, you can run it in Docker. Somebody says, I have a detached garage, making an office in there. House is about 200 feet away. Do you recommend doing Unify Mesh or Unify point-to-point Nano? I would just get a couple of the Nanos and do a point-to-point. So here is the Nano Station AC Loco AC. I don't have my measuring device that my buddy sent me right now. And do I have an Edge Router X? I do have an Edge Router X. I always have it. So everybody's familiar with an Edge Router X. And here's the Nano Station AC Loco. So you can see that this guy is not much bigger than an Edge router. And it's got a really nice slim profile. Ubiquiti is doing a fantastic job of really making these devices sleek and sexy. And I am going to use that word sexy. So if we take that apart, you can see there's a reset button in there, Ethernet, and what else? That's it, reset button and Ethernet. And then on the back, you've got this curved, contoured partial mount. So you can pick these up. These are pretty ubiquitous. They're pretty much available at all the distributors at this point. You can also pick them up on Amazon. So in fact, I don't know if they're in my Amazon store or not. Amazon store link down below. You can check that out. But yeah, I would just get a couple of those guys and throw it up. I wouldn't mess with the Unify stuff. Let's see. USG site-to-site throughput real life. That I don't know, because the only customers that I have that have connections that could possibly max that out are all running Edge routers. So I can't answer that. Lauren says, why should a tech-savvy person have to call support to get a product in a minimal working fashion? Lauren, can you explain what that comment was about? Hey, David. Let's see. I don't run Unify and Docker. I know people have been asking for official Docker packages, but I don't. I've never run it. I throw mine on a Linux box. Sean's explaining the range that he has seen out of the Nano HD. Let's see, what else? Would you go for EdgeMax or USG for a noob in the network world? Well, it depends what your goal is. If you actually want to learn networking and how things work under the hood, go with an Edge router. If you want all the green bubbles and pretty things and set it and forget it, go with Unify. Delano asks, Amplify Mesh or Plume Wi-Fi? Do I need to answer that? I will. Amplify. All right. Somebody says, I currently have an AC Pro. It's having a bit of a hard time covering my whole apartment. You think I would lose range if I switch it out for a Nano HD? I agree with Sean there. I would just add a second access point. I think that would be, you know, I think that would be the wiser thing to do there. Lauren is talking about the Zycel failure to launch. Yeah, the whole Zycel thing was a real debacle. And I didn't even really want to test their cloud gear. They have some layer 2, layer 3 switches. That's what I was trying to get. And they also have a SAN and or a NAS, and I wanted to take a look at that. But at this point, yeah, it's Zycel. I mean, it works. People use Zycel. All I'm saying is that it didn't work in my situation, and so things got sent back, and I won't deploy that product. But I do have other Zycel. I use Zycel PoE switches. They're inexpensive, 48 ports, and they have lots of features. So, let's see. Let's see. The Pro is overkill too. I can't run any cables, unfortunately, but the range is just good enough. Well, can you get power to the AP? Because you could. It's not ideal, but you could do wireless uplink. Ubiquiti doesn't recommend that for long-term use, so you definitely have to think about that. Let's see. Do you know how to fix a problem when your edge router takes the domain on the local network due to the edge router using your public IP as a management Blazo, I'm not sure that I understand the question. If you can re-ask that in another way, I might be able to answer that. And Ross is 100% right. The Nano HD will not add range compared to an AC Pro. Performance, yes. But, I mean, even now I run 2 HDs here. And when we have everything up and going, we've got a couple hundred devices connected for testing and real real life devices, but we're not even coming close to maxing out the HDs, and they may be a little overkill, but I like them. Is VPN filter keeping me busy? Not really. I haven't had anybody really reach out about that where it's been a problem. I think a lot of the tech savvy folks are just rebooting and kind of doing their thing. Let's see. Any more questions? If there's no more questions on that stuff, I am gonna grab something off the shelf real quick. So I'm not sure if you are Ross. My WISP plans are alive and well. We go in August to get the tower. I'm hoping to broadcast live while we take the tower down. And the WISP stuff is going to be really awesome because I actually have some LEGO Wave gear that we're going to use next to on the same tower. We're going to have LEGO Wave and Ubiquiti and Cambium all on the same tower, so it's going to be really awesome. What's the maximum power supply voltage for 1 USG and 2 Edge router X SFP? You have to check the data sheets, or I'd have to take a look at that. Ross, if I ever get to the UK, I'm going to do a tour, and I am definitely going to come see you. So IgniteNet reached out to me. If you've never seen them, and they sent me a couple APs. And this is the first time they've actually been out of the plastic, so I'm going to do some videos on these. You know, I love lab gear, love wireless gear. So this is an IgniteNet. This is a Wave 2 access point. This is their SPW2 AC1200. It's a 12. Let's see. It takes a standard 48 volt PoE, and look at the heat sink on the back of that thing. Holy Moses. That is, I mean, that is a heck of a heat sink. So inside you can see we've got power, we've got ETH1, we've got ETH0 with PoE in, we've got reset, and then we've got USB. So these are wholly cloud managed through the IgniteNet platform. Now I'm not totally against it, you know, but it definitely, you know, before I would deploy these at a customer site and feel 100% good about it, I definitely have to test them. So these are going to get tested here in the lab. I've got 2 of these, and I'm actually kind of really excited to test it out. There's the mounting gear. This is literally the first time they sent them. They came direct. I opened the box, I took them out, and I've got them sitting there. Now I do have a point-to-point setup from them as well that they sent, and we will probably go ahead and throw that on the tower. Somebody said any permitting problems. So the way that I am going to be running, the area that I'm in just has some provisions that my tower can't be taller than the water tower, the local water tower. And I do not plan on my tower being taller than the local water tower. So I don't foresee any permitting issues. So what's that product? This is the IgniteNet. So Ross says, now wash your hands. That's hilarious. As much as we'd like to say that Ubiquiti is the only vendor, it would be disingenuous and a disservice to you, if I said that they were, and you know, we didn't look at all this other gear. So, and these vendors kind of go out of their way sometimes to get a hold of me and send this gear out. IgniteNet just kind of did it unsolicited, which was really nice. I always appreciate it when vendors get a hold of me and I get my hands on some gear. So these videos will be coming. There's going to be, I am going to go back into my LEGO Wave series here in the next few weeks, and we're going to install the LEGO Wave controller and join our access points there. We're also going to go back to the GrandStream. GrandStream now, there are 3 ways you can now control your access points for GrandStream. You can use the access point as a controller, you can use the router as a controller, or you can use the GWN.cloud service. So we're going to take a look at that. And that would be just like that would be just like buying Ubiquiti's service. And I actually have a couple customers that do use the Elite service. We're going to be moving them off of it, but they use it right now. Yeah, Docker isn't supported yet, but if I had to guess, Sean, I would think maybe we're headed in that direction. I can neither confirm or deny that, and you know as much as I do, Sean, but with everything else coming as a Docker package, I can't see them not Dockerizing Unify at some point. LEGO Wave, bye-bye. Don't know what that means. You don't like LEGO Wave, Ross? Can you run the USG as a simple DNS server like you showed us with the Edge router? Yeah, you sure can. It takes a little bit more work, but it can be done. Don't know if it survives a reboot, but if you set your domain and everything properly, and actually, no, I take that back. You can actually edit the DNS mask file on the USG, and I do believe it survives a reboot. Sean, do you know, does that DNS mask survive a reboot? For some reason, I'm thinking it does because I've done that before. I know I've done it. In fact, I have a couple of co-working spaces that have USGs, and that's how we do their internal domain, as I went in and edited the file, and I know they rebooted, and they're not having any problems. So just had some issues with power loss on the Cloud Key. Yes, well, the new version of the Cloud Key, as you saw in the beta store, is going to address the power loss issues. Sean, interested in the full stack GrandStream stuff, to be honest. Sean, your wish is my command. That is coming soon. Soon. Not soon enough, but soon. In the next month. GrandStream's also going to have switches out. I'm trying to get my name on the list to be a beta tester for their switches. So we'll see how that goes, because then they will truly have the full stack. Jordan asks, would you sell your own brand of gear? Jordan, I would sell my own brand of gear. Absolutely, I would do that. Danny says, Willie, what do you think? I have internet download of 500, and if I have an AP, yeah, so with wireless, take the advertised rate and cut it in half right off the bat. So wireless is, you're never going to get wired speed out of wireless like a 1-to-1 at this point. I'm sure at some point you will, but you know what you could do, Danny. It all depends on the end device too. So if you have an end device that supports 160 megahertz channels, you're going to obliterate the 5 gigahertz band, but you could, like on an HD, use the 160 megahertz bandwidth. Like I said, you're going to obliterate the 5 gigahertz when you do that. But if you've got an end device that can support the 160, then you're going to get awesome throughput on that. I think Sean was just confirming the Docker comment that I made. Yes, I still use Libre NMS for now too, because I can do things with it that I can't do with Unify and that I can't do with UNMS. So I manage a lot of servers, and I manage gear that is not Ubiquiti. And so Windows Server is a good example. I want to know when the hard drive hits 60% full. Well, UNMS isn't going to tell me that, so I need some way to do it. So we're still using Libre NMS to do things like that, and it works. It's fantastic. In fact, if they charged for Libre NMS, it's one of those products that I would probably not feel bad paying the licensing fee for. I kind of feel bad because they give it away, so we should probably donate something at some point. Alex says, does someone have some advice for me what to use, a remote controller or a local cloud key for Facebook Wi-Fi? First of all, don't use Facebook Wi-Fi. I'm just kidding. If you can get it working and it works well, go ahead and use it. But really, that's up to your preference. Do you want to maintain the cloud key? Do you want to make sure you've got all the provisions ready to make sure your cloud key is running? Or do you want to stick it out in DigitalOcean or Vultr and let them take care of it? John says, give you some advice about a wireless home security camera. Well, John, that is tricky. It depends what you're looking for. So if you're looking for something that supports standards, you're going to be looking at not a Unify camera. So my advice on that is to first get all of your requirements written down and then go out and take a look. I can't really just give you, I just really can't blindly recommend something without knowing what your requirements are. So if you said that you want to be Unify across the board, then I could say without hesitation, you know, go with that G3 Micro. But if you're looking at other cameras and other video management systems, then we're not talking Unify. Now, maybe Unify cameras if you just want to capture the RTSP stream and you don't want to do anything else. But, you know, like I said, that's very complex. Off the top of my, or off, you know, shooting off the hip, I can't just give you a camera recommendation. Ross, that's my Soon, not UB&T Soon. In fact, you always see the trademark symbol when a Ubiquiti employee, they'll occasionally put Soon trademark when they answer something. I think it's kind of funny. Are you looking to switch to GrandStream APs for your customers? In what situation do you prefer Unify GrandStream? Really curious. So for customers who are definitely going to have the GrandStream, this is the new GrandStream wireless phone. This is totally Wi-Fi. You don't need it's not a decked phone. If they are looking to upgrade everything, I would probably go ahead and slap some GrandStreams in, just because GrandStream actually has provisions that are specifically meant for voice over IP in their access points. So, and I mean, they're actually it's to configure them for voice over IP and to make sure that voice over IP runs properly on the access points. So if they've already got existing APs or they're Unify, then I'm not going to try to talk them out of it, you know, but yeah, I mean, there are definitely occasions where I'm going to, I am not abandoning Ubiquiti. That's not what this is about. I am diversifying into products to give more choices to people. Yeah, Mark is absolutely right, Danny, about the chipsets, full bandwidth on wireless. Blazo, can you tell me what you mean disable WAN GUI access? Is that on an edge router? Oh, Sean, thanks for plugging the channel and everything. Yeah, donations, using the Amazon store, all that stuff. Since my channel is not monetized, that's always appreciated. And, you know, if we get to 100,000 subscribers one day, that's going to be awesome. If we get to 1 million one day, that's going to be awesome. I'm still going to be the same guy sitting here, and I'm always going to do these tutorials, and, you know, I'm never going to try to force you to do anything you don't want to do. I just hope that you come back and you're learning and you're having a good time with us. Lauren says, it's sad I have to buy no-name Chinese cameras because all the brand name cameras are locked down to proprietary software or their own cloud service. I don't think that's true. Take a look at Axis cameras and anything that supports ONVIF, ONVIF. That is the standard for security cameras. You can use all of those cameras with multiple VMS systems. What gear would you sell that is your brand? Well, if I could slap my name on a GrandStream UCM system, I would do that in a heartbeat. Edge router 4. Okay, so Blazo, by default, your edge router should not be giving up access to the web UI on the WAN. So I would say you've got a firewall configuration problem. If you use the wizard and did a standard configuration, that access is not going to be open. So check your configuration because you've got a problem. Just block the port in the firewall, WAN local, I think. Well, that depends. Is the configuration, does he even have that rule set? You know, that's the problem. We don't know if he's even got that rule set. It sounds like either there's a rule or a rule set missing or a rule set disabled. Maybe the rule set's there, the interfaces aren't applied. There's a lot to it. So, yeah, definitely check your configuration. Ross, I will never, ever, I will never, ever forget you guys. I remember when I was, so the way this whole YouTube thing started a few years ago is I was on the Ubiquity community and I was really starting to contribute there. And somebody was like, I need to do this. And I'm like, you know, instead of typing it out, I can just create a quick video and I can, you know, show people how to do it, right? So I went out, I got some screen recording software. At the time I was using something free. And I opened up a notepad. If you go back, way back to the very first videos, I opened a notepad. It was complete silence, which, by the way, people have yelled at me because they thought there was something wrong with their speakers because I wasn't talking. And at the time, I didn't really think people would have any interest in my stories or other things, opinions, and things like that. I just thought I wanted to put some configuration information out there, and that would be it. And so it was just me and a notepad, and it started evolving. And then somebody said, you know, we really want to hear what you sound like. So I started doing explanations, and then, you know, somebody's like, you really need to, you know, get a video presence. And so I do really feel that there's a better connection between us when we have this. I'm telling you a story and you can feel that connection. And so you go back, my videos are getting a little bit better all the time. So it's about time in the evolution of the channel for me to bump up the actual video quality. So like I do have new lights, I've got a new camera and things like that. It's just trying to get the time to do it because, you know, I'm not a full-time content creator. So in the content that I put out, I try to at least make it meaningful. If I don't have the highest quality videos, I at least want the videos to relay some good information. I'll never forget, before I was really like buckling down and doing this, you can go back and look at the EDU video that I did. I was chewing gum. What a horrible mistake that was. So I'm always learning. So have I tried 2.0 alpha? Yes, and that is out in the Edge router, the Edge OS. Out in the Edge OS. And Ross, I do appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. And I try to say it at the beginning of every video. And I really do appreciate everybody. And without everybody being here, I really wouldn't have the steam to do this. And so thank you to everyone. I am truly humbled and I am blessed. But yes, I have tried the 2.0 alpha. It runs really well on the routers that I've got sitting back there. One of those I can't talk about, if you can see those. Oh yeah, here's a Grandstream did send me some. I got this neat little marker. I got a shirt, and I got some pamphlets in Spanish. I don't speak fluent Spanish. I know enough butchered Spanish to get to the bathroom, find the elevator, things like that. Delano, how do you send a tip? If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a PayPal icon up in the upper right hand corner, and you can click on that and send through there. But yeah, I can't talk about this guy because he's still in beta. But that's an Edge router 4. That's an Edge router 4. There's a stack of Edge routers there. When I start doing BGP and OSPF labs, when I'm getting bored, you know, there's a lot of routers running. In fact, I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there's another Edge router here. Then there's a Palo Alto. That thing is a beast. Of course, the Synology unit. Here's an analog phone. And then I've got, you know, USGs, switches, things like that. But, yeah, and John, you know, I like putting it out there. Chris is a good guy too. So, and Chris has some good information. And you can also look at, Chris's channel. Chris is also diversifying, and so let's see. Somebody says, wish Ubiquiti would do more with their phones. Any thoughts or insight? So I've got some of their phones. Tim, if you guys are familiar with Tim Bear, he's actually going to get one of the phones. We've got a VPN between our labs for Synology replication, and he's going to have one of the phones at his house. But I am going to do a video on Ross just put a comment down there that made me laugh. We'll address that in a minute. And I even forgot what I said. Anyway, Tim Bear is going to get a phone, but I'm going to do a video on joining the Unify phone and how to update it to the latest software that Unify has. I can't deploy the phones. There's a couple of deal breakers on the current generations of phone, and I don't know if they've got new phones coming out. But one of the things is you can't replace the cord between the receiver and the base, and that is definitely a deal breaker. Definitely a deal breaker for me, because anybody who sees a receptionist use a phone, those cords always get twisted. So that is definitely something that I hope that they address if they stay in the phone game. So, but if they have, I can't speak to their plans. Let's see. Somebody retracted. Hey, person. Hi, I'm Irish. I'm English and Irish and German and Native American. So let's see. You might have to get some brand names from you because I searched OwnVIF camera. Oh, yeah. So if you want to get into Axis cameras, which is Axis is a fantastic brand. I'm trying to get some Axis cameras for the channel. We'll see. But they have a new line called Companion. And the Companion line, it's not necessarily a lower-end camera, but it's a lower-price camera. Still supports all the awesome features, edge recording, and they've got special NVRs for it, and that comes in right around the same price as the Ubiquiti cameras. Hello, Arch in Japan. All right, Willie, trying to get port forwarding to work in conjunction with WAN 1, WAN 2 failover. Robert would not make a good video. Probably is not going to work the way you want unless you do a JSON file, and I don't do JSON hell. I don't know. There are some consultants who will live on the edge. They'll roll the dice and they'll do those JSON configurations. I do have a client in Chicago that has an existing JSON file, and we modified it, but I did not create it, and I don't recommend doing the JSON file. I would recommend that you actually switch to an edge router. Let's see. Sean. Yes. Wait a minute. Where'd Sean go? Sean, I thought you said something. Oh, yeah. Sean did say something. Yes, that is the device I can't talk about is the ER12. Yes. While devices are in beta, Ubiquiti has asked content creators to not do videos on them. They come with red stickers on them that say this is a beta device. And there's a few reasons for that. They don't want things leaking. Beta devices may not be a finished device. So even though you're buying from the beta store, these things can, excuse me, show up with cosmetic problems. They can show up with hardware problems and things like that. That is why they put them on there, because they don't want that to be a Zycel situation, right? And I don't want it to be a Zycel situation. So when I buy something from the beta store, until I get the green flag and I have a device that is non-beta, I don't do a video on them. Now, I do beta software videos, and I always disclaim that that is beta and that you should know what you're getting into in beta. So that is different, though. The hardware is different than the software. Let's see. So Ross says, your power consumption and heat generation fits the profile for growing weed. Have the police ever been here? So I don't run everything all at once. That's why some of these things are unplugged. I do have a dedicated circuit just for the lab, but I purposefully keep my power consumption as low as I can, because there have been instances where I've heard exactly what Ross is talking about, where people who have home labs, people who have Bitcoin mining networks in their basements, they have high power consumption. people who grow weed in their basement usually have high power consumption from lights and things like that, and they will get raided. I had a friend who actually was into reptiles and had a hatchery, and in the middle of winter they cut his power, and the cops showed up and he lost. I mean, it was a total mess. So I purposefully don't leave everything plugged in all the time, Ross. But if I ran the whole lab, yeah, the power meter would just probably just sit there and spin. Let's see. Hi, Andrew. Can I do an updated hotspot creation video for the USG Pro? I want to set it up and have free complimentary Wi-Fi on one and one paid, both daily. Oliver, I'll answer both of your questions. So first of all, I wish I had Ubiquiti stock. If I had Ubiquiti stock, I would be doing very well, because when I talked to my wife about it, it was like sub $30 a share. And it's one of those things where you don't want to look back because the past is the past and you can't change it. But I will say that I wish I would have bought Ubiquiti stock. So when you're setting up a hotspot, it's the excuse me, it's the same whether you're using a USG Pro, a USG, or whether you're not using a USG at all. The hotspot software is all run through the Unify controller. So we might do an updated video on that. What products do I wish Ubiquiti would really focus on? I really wish that they would finish and focus some things on the Edge series. You know, we have the USG XG, and unless you're going to go to Jason Hell, you can still only have one IP address on your WAN interface. And for a 10 gig router, I don't know anybody who is buying 10 gig service and putting a single IP on it. I'm sure it exists. I'm sure it exists. There's some things, you know, and they know, and they're working on it. Now, there's no roadmap, but they definitely know there's some things and that they need to work on, and they're definitely getting there. And no, I have not made any money off of UBNT stock. What other things do I wish they would focus on? I do wish that they would reconsider adding OwnVIF and Edge recording to the Unify camera line, the UVC line. If they are going to keep the Unify phones, they need to add, you know, a replaceable handset cord. They also need to make sure that they keep their operating system up to date. I'm waiting to get a GXV. I've been deploying GrandStream GXVs, which is the GrandStream video phone. Now, when you go out and you look at the reviews, most of the things that people are complaining about, oh, the phone gets slow and the phone locks up. That's because they're using it as a damn tablet and not a phone. It's got full access to the Google Play Store. So people are going out and they're downloading everything that they can to this, excuse me, to this phone. And instead of using it as a phone, they're using it as a tablet. It's not meant to be used as a tablet. It's meant to get some light use outside of the phone, but it's meant primarily to be a phone, right? So, yeah, they need to make sure. So, yeah, but the GXV GrandStream does a fantastic job of keeping the operating system up to date and keeping, you know, the phones. And GrandStream is a telephony company who went into networking. And so you know, they've got a leg up there. So we'll just have to see how it all shakes out. But you know, I'm rooting for all the companies. I don't want to see anybody out of a job. I don't want to see anybody close down. There is plenty of money out there for all of the companies. Let's see. Have you set up Lenny on on GrandStream yet? Well, if you can set it up on a UCM, I haven't done it. I think that the easiest thing to do would probably be set up a Raspberry Pi free PBX system, excuse me, with Lenny, and then just put a trunk between your UCM and that, and then when people call in, and you can direct the call over the trunk. That'd probably be the easiest way. So I'm using the Unify setup and have the GrandStream UCM for a remote phone on my other Unify network. You use the site-to-site VPN or the GrandStream built-in VPN. Okay, so, excuse me, I have a customer in Texas, and we are doing hub-and-spoke VPN using USGs. Now, we weren't originally going to do that, but what we found out is that if you use the open VPN instructions for the edge router, that the certificates that are generated, you cannot use them on the Grandstream phone. So we had to switch over to site to site. Now, if you have a standard open VPN server, which check out Turnkey Linux, they have an open VPN server that's ready to go. You just download the ISO and install it. If you're using a standard open VPN server like that, you can just import the certs into a Grandstream phone or a Grandstream UCM, and everything will get tied back to your VPN server, and it's beautiful and it works. And I'm going to do a video on that. And also, if you're using a Grandstream router, they have an open VPN server built in. So the Grandstream stuff all integrates seamlessly, and Grandstream has done a wonderful, fantastic job of making sure that that integration happens. Their engineers are awesome. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's something else. On the Unify phones, the current iteration, you can't lock the phones down, right? They basically took a tablet and attached a handset to it, and you cannot lock it down. The Grandstream GXV phones, you can lock them down. You can set policies, and it's thinking about it being a phone, right? Tablet later, phone first. So you got a UCK Gen 2 coming. No, I don't have the Cloud Key Gen 2 coming. If somebody wants to send me one, that would be awesome. Is there any phones that parental lockdown to password protect Google Play for that reason? Yeah, Axelrod. Yeah, check out the GXV series of phones. You can completely lock those phones down. I wish they'd remove the NVR capabilities from the UCK Gen 2 and keep the price a bit more friendly. Keep your eyes open. You know, you never know what Ubiquity is going to do. Jermom, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, so I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Washington asks, what advice would you give someone that wants to start up an IT consulting company? Also, where would you advise them to start? Well, first of all, have a skill set, have a little bit of a personality. Don't be afraid to hear the word no. You're going to hear no a lot. You're going to do a lot of work. You're going to build proposals, and then people are going to tell you no. You're going to do work that doesn't satisfy clients. You need to have thick skin. You're going to have work that doesn't satisfy clients. So you're going to want to make sure all of your policies, all your procedures are in place. You know, you're not going to always be 100%, and not everybody's going to like you. You know, you look at my videos, you know, I get thumbs down on my videos. I'm doing things, I'm putting myself out here, and I am, you know, giving you guys all the free tutorials and everything, and I still get thumbs down, but we don't see those people creating videos. Now, lucky I have thick skin. And so it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. The thumbs down, they don't bother me anymore. I used to take them personally, but I don't now. It's the same thing in consulting. You know, I might go in and do one thing, and then the owner's brother's an IT expert. And yeah, it takes all kinds of people to make the world go around. Just be chill, get a skill set, be determined. Don't give up. Do not give up. You know, make sure you're friendly. You know, I'm going to do a customer service series, because I don't think that we concentrate enough on that. If you get a chance to check out a book called The $6,000 Egg, check it out. It's a fantastic book. But I've got my own brand of customer service, and I believe anybody who's worked with me will know that I always give 100% to the customer. And whether it turns out and things go south or whatever, you know, I always am amicable, and I always try to get things straightened out. So, but you know, you're gonna hear no, and things are not always gonna go your way. So just keep it, you know, hang in there. And I would say too, right now, get really, really good at a couple of things. You know, I have a very wide skill set. I've been doing this a long time, but I have to have a very wide skill set for the way that I operate daily. But you can definitely see where I'm okay at some things. So like hardware, PC hardware. I'm just being honest. I really don't give a shit about PC hardware. I've got a guy for that, and Taylor, he works with me in my day job. If I have hard PC hardware questions, I send him to him. He lives and breathes that stuff, and the desktop support stuff and all that. He lives and breathes it, like I do security and networking and voice over IP. You know, but then You also have to have soft skills, so the management side. And I never stop learning. I have a stack of books on management, marketing. I used to follow the Disney philosophy. They did some things with their IT department they don't really agree with. So just know that if you're in IT, I've got your back, and I hope that you would have my back. Just like Lowe's, they outsourced half their IT department. So guess what? Lowe's has not received another penny from me. I've not spent another dime at all at Lowe's since they made the decision to outsource their IT department, because I believe it's bull. It's absolutely bull. So between Home Depot, more Home Depot than Menards, and especially my local, I do try to shop local when possible. So my local hardware store, if I can buy stuff there, I pay a little bit more, but it's local folks. You know, you really see a huge impact when you buy local. So I will spend there, but Home Depot and Menards get the, and then occasionally I might order something on Amazon if I can't get it in the stores. But yeah, Lowe's has not seen another penny. I will not take my family back to Disney, because Disney, they had IT people there who were there for years. They had to sit at their desk, train their replacements, and they couldn't talk about it. They were under a gag order, or they didn't get their severance package. And I think that's bull. So I will never take my family back to Disney. Now, I have a very young daughter and I have a wife, obviously. And so, like, if it was up to me, I'd never spend another penny on Disney at all. Nothing that they own, but they own so much that it is hard to avoid. And when you have kids, it is what it is. But, I can't get down with that. So I don't even know how we got on that. Oh, yeah. What else? Oliver, I don't know what question I skipped. Please re-ask it. Does Grandstream have a Skype for business conference phones? Spliffin, yes, they do. Grandstream has some awesome conferencing options, and I hope to be able to do videos on those one day, but they are not cheap, and I haven't really talked to them about sending those to me yet. I want to get through the UCM stuff. But another thing I like about their GXV phone is it actually has HDMI out. So if you're going to use it for video conferencing, which we have, and it's awesome, and we've got the door stations in play, and you can see who's at the door, and you can pop the door and all that stuff. You actually go out to a TV. So it's awesome. Hey, Keith. Do you answer our comments, fam? Yeah, I answer comments, Keith. Oliver says 90% of new businesses fail. The difference between 10% and the 90% is perseverance, but usually expendable capital, but also perseverance. Yeah. So there's another market segment that I'm actually going to be breaking into, and you're going to see some videos. I kind of already broke into it, but thanks to a customer of mine, my customer Alex. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but he got me into building control systems, and so we're really going to town on that. You're not going to see so much videos on setting up building control systems, but you're going to see videos on the gear that we use and how we use it, why we use it, things like that. Andrew asks, Willie, have you ever worked with Mimosa Kit? I talked to Mimosa, and I kind of got a runaround from them, and I didn't get a really good vibe. I know people who are running Mimosa, swear by it. I have no personal experience with Mimosa at this point. Hey, Nathan. Yeah, I just try to be a common sense, down to earth, good person. And we're not going to talk about my politics, but personally, I am financially, I'm conservative, but I believe that everybody should be given an equal opportunity to succeed. What they do with that opportunity is up to them, but the opportunity should at least be equal. And I will help people succeed. I have had people that worked with me, or friends. They may have not reported directly to me, but I mentored these people, and now they have gone off to do bigger, better things. And I always joke that I'm done mentoring people, but I'm not really done mentoring people. I love helping people achieve their potential, even if that means that I don't always concentrate on me and me climbing. I love to see people succeed. I think people are capable of much more than what we give them credit for by just looking at them. Michael says, first of all, question, I'm doing my UBNT installs on Windows servers. My knowledge of Linux is minimal. Where do I start for secure and stable installs? Use Ubuntu. Use Ubuntu. If you're going to do it in-house, use Ubuntu. When you go through the install, do the SSH server only. Read up on uncomplicated firewall UFW. You will be, you know what, maybe I should do like a whole installing video. But yeah, just Ubuntu is Ubuntu and Debian. You know, I do love pure Debian too. Yeah, I tend not to run on Windows unless it's a customer requirement. But yeah, the GXV 3370 is coming out shortly. There's actually I believe it's this week. Hold on, let me look. Yes, it is this coming week. Grandstream is having an event to talk about the new products that are going to be coming out. Now, I haven't had a chance to get my hands on a GXV 3370, but I do know that it's coming out. Oh, okay, Oliver says, on newest firmware for USG Pro, can I connect two ISPs, one to WAN 2? Can you do policy-based routing? I believe it's just failover. Sean, help me out there. But I think it's just failover. I don't think you can do policy-based routing at the moment. I'm sure you could do it if you went to JSON Hell. Feel free to configure the JSON file, but you better take a can of spray paint and spray paint it on the wall next to the USG that you've got a JSON file in there. Sean, yeah, no PBR on Unify yet. I was going to say, like, I know I'm running like 3 different versions of Unify, but I know I hadn't seen it. Ross says, my experience of Mimosa, it comes out of the box on full power, on full channel width, gets the performance for novices, but kills the airways for the rest of us. Well, Ubiquity Gear, look at Unify. Unify comes out auto, which is whatever damn channel it feels like. It's software making a guess, and they come on auto power, which is high. So Mimosa's not the only one that does that. Jermam, Willie, I'm a desktop admin that does some networking. Which is better for small business, Unify or Edge? If you want to develop a skill set, go with the Edge. Because here's the thing. You can get a full-blown router, full-featured router that you can add more packages to for 49 bucks. You know, go to the Amazon store, pick up an Edge Router X. You can do everything with the Edge Router X. You're not going to get the performance that you're going to get out of an Infinity, and you're not going to get the 10 gig. But you can do everything in the software with the $49 router that you can. Now, small business as far as Unify goes, if you just want a simple stack and set it and forget it and have easy administration, go with Unify. But the Edge products, I believe, will give you a better skill set. And yeah, Sean is right. Depends on the customer needs. And really, the Edge router is not that complex. If you follow a wizard, if you use the WAN 2 plus LAN 2 wizard, you're going to have an awesome firewall, and it's going to be rock solid, and it is not difficult to set up. It takes just a few seconds. Yeah, I think I'm going to do some more Linux videos. I have to sit for my Linux Academy exam. I have a voucher for that to sit to become certified through the Linux Academy, which is through the Linux Foundation. And so I just need to schedule some time and do that certification because I love Linux. In fact, if I could get away with running Linux full-time on my desktop, I would. But my wife is a Microsoft Office specialist, a Microsoft Certified Office specialist, and she loves it. Yeah, and I actually have customers running the controller all kinds of ways. We're running it on Mac, running it on Windows. Hold on just a second. I'm live on the air. Yes. I'll be with you in just a minute, okay? All right. So, yeah, we run the controller on all kinds of hardware and software, and, you know. Yeah. Edge is not hard. Edge is not hard. It's just like, but I mean, it's all about perspective, right? If somebody throws an Arista down in front of me, I'm going to go, shit, this Arista is hard. No, it's just because I haven't touched it, right? So it's all about common sense and everything. You know, what's common sense for a doctor is not common sense for Willie Howe. Willie Howe is not a doctor. What's common sense for me in an IT role is not common sense for the doctor. So, yeah, it's about your point of view. Andrew says, love your videos. Networking my new house in the UK, installing a rack router and switch for all the rooms under the stairs, and worried about airflow. Any quick tips? Small fan, make sure that it's vented and you've got some airflow. I am not using the newest firmware on my USG, Jonathan. Let's see. UNMS still leaves a lot to be desired for everything, not Edge router. Yeah, that's because it is Edge and Air based. So even when you do get the Unify integration, from what I understand, you're only going to be able to monitor Unify. You're not going to be able to configure it. I wish people would understand. Edge and Unify, two different use cases, folks. They're not going to merge them at this point. They're two different sets of hardware, two different use cases. They're not. Don't look for them to merge those lines anytime soon. Learn both. As actually, you know, I have a really high tolerance, and that is one thing that I'm actually, like, I see people, oh, just merge it, just merge it. No, it's two separate product lines, man. Don't merge it. I've got use cases. Everybody has use cases for both. Learn it. That's what I'm saying. Stop trying to get them to merge it. I love not paying Windows licensing fees. Yes, exactly. And that's why I use GrandStream too. GrandStream has an awesome product, no licensing fees. Yeah, go back and look through my Edge router videos. I explain the way the firewalls work, each rule set, things like that. So go check it out. Moondog, you have a very familiar icon there. Moondog, do I know you? I think I might know you, Moondog. Maybe not. Maybe not, but your icon looks familiar. I have a client that has that same icon. Let's see. No, I haven't seen any Angular templates. We actually generate our own portal templates and pages. Not sure what that means, Nathan, about hot air rising, but how do I sponsor your live? You want to give me 10,000? Go to the. I appreciate that. If you really want to give me 10,000, that's commendable. If you want to throw some cash at the channel for development, go to my YouTube channel. There's a PayPal icon there next to the logo. Go to that, and you can donate that way. So yeah, if somebody donated $10,000. A real $10,000 and I get to keep it, I would do a video series for a month of just, you know, that person's choice. So yeah, and I was like, yeah, I hope that is USDs too, but that's funny. Everybody's chiming in. They want the 10,000 USDs. What UTM would you recommend as an MSP offering? So look at WatchGuard. Recently got back into the WatchGuard stuff. Check that out. So yeah, check out the WatchGuard stuff. Check out Untangle. But aha, yes, Moondog, I knew that was you. Fantastic. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody wants me to do a ZFS on Linux tutorial on Ubuntu. So you can email me too. If you've got video ideas, I do collect those video ideas and will at some point do, and I will say, you know, this is viewer's choice. I'm down to do viewer's choice. So email me those suggestions. But all right, so it is 4 o'clock Central, and I do need to wrap this up. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I really appreciate all of you. And, you know, go to h5llc.com. You can use the Amazon shop. Reach out to me if you need best practice consulting for, you know, networking, voice over IP, security, things like that. We also have Tim doing all the custom programming. So I really appreciate everything that everybody does. And as always, we'll see you in the next video.